Hey everyone, Martin here at Orange Box Photography and welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to do a little mini review of an old favourite lens of mine, the Nikkor 50mm 1.8 AFD lens. Bought this lens many years ago. It was in fact the very first lens that I ever upgraded to from my old kit lenses. And it's been one of the best lenses that I've ever bought, especially for the money that I paid for this. I mean, you can still buy this brand new now for £80 to £100 from the likes of Amazon and eBay, and certainly it still produces fantastic images, even in comparison to the current lenses that are on the market. There's a few things you need to know though. With the AFD lens, it doesn't have an inbuilt focus motor, so if you do have an entry-level Nikon camera, you know, D60, D3000, D5000, I'll pop a little list up here in the corner. This lens isn't going to autofocus with your camera. It will still work, but it's just going to be manual focus only. Now, Nikon did re-release this lens of sorts and brought out a 1.8G version, which is DX only. Now, this will autofocus on the entry-level cameras, and it is a phenomenal lens in itself. That's usually, it comes in, I think it's about £180 at the moment for that lens. So I mean, the AFD, fantastic option if you have a D90, D7000. You know, if you're still using your 18-105 kit lenses and things, this is a lens well worth looking at. Now, with the crop factor on your camera, you know, if you're using a D90, D7000, you know, you've got that 1.5 crop factor to look at. That makes this 50mm lens approximately 75mm on your camera, which makes it a really good portrait lens. And you know, when you stop this lens down, you know, if you're going to get that stopped down to say f4, this lens produces fantastically sharp images, very contrasty, which means they're going to make phenomenal portrait lenses. So it's definitely something worthwhile looking at as an upgrade to do. So what we're going to do is I've took some sample images with this lens on my D7000, and we'll have a look at the sample images, also look at how it renders the background in the bokeh when for the out of focus areas. It isn't smooth as one would like, but you know, it's still a fantastic lens. So let's take a look at the sample images that I took earlier on. So these test shots were all shot on my D7000. I opted to use the D7000 over my D700 just to make it a bit more fairer comparative test. You know, a lot of you guys out there will be using D7000s, D90s, etc. And so I thought it'd be a better option to use that. Now, the images themselves are just as they came out of the camera with no edits on them. Now, what I have done is I've shot the lens at every aperture from 1.8 all the way down to f22, just so you can see how the lens itself performs at any given aperture. And what you'll notice is that as this lens starts stopping down, the actual images get a lot more punchy and contrasty. So this is definitely a great lens, even more so when you stop it down. Has virtually no distortion in it whatsoever, so it's got no pin cushion or anything like that, which you don't tend to get with prime lenses anyway. This lens definitely doesn't suffer from anything like that. The only thing I will say about the lens is it only has 7 blades in the aperture, and they are straight blades as well. And what this means is that the out of focus areas can look hexagonal in shape, but you know, that's still not a bad thing. It's still reasonably pleasing, and for what you're paying for the lens, the image quality you're going to get from them is still fantastic. And that's the review of the Nikkor 50mm 1.8 AFD lens. This is a lens that I'm definitely going to be keeping in the bag for quite some time to come. It's a fantastic lens for even doing video work with, is what I mainly use it for at the moment. But you know, if you're looking first time upgrade from a kit lens, want something with better image quality, or just generally want a better image quality overall, then this lens is definitely something worth looking at. You know, at that price point, you know, £80 to £100, about $125, it's definitely a lens worth considering. If you're sitting on the fence, don't get off the fence, go out, buy it. It's definitely worth it. This is a fantastic, phenomenal lens. That 1.8 aperture, you know, it's going to help you isolate your subject, shoot in low light, and definitely when this lens gets to f4, it really can't be beaten, especially for the price point that it sits at. That's all I've got time for now, guys. If you guys have any questions, you can email me at orangebox321@gmail.com. Post your comments below and tell us what you think. If you have the lens, post below, tell us what do you think of the lens. You know, what's your experience with this Nikkor 50mm 1.8 AFD lens. But that's it for now, guys. You guys take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.